BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com, gentlemen. What is going on? Welcome back to episode 107 of The Lobby. As always, each and every week. And again, Sam, congratulations. I'm not sure if you guys heard, but Sam got a great promotion at work. So congratulations, Sammy.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So, moving up from sales to finance, did that position from 2015 to 2018. I left when I got married. Not married anymore, but I'm the top salesman there. Been the top salesman for a couple of years, but the opportunity, presented itself and they offered it to me. And at the end of the day, if, you've been at a spot for 13 years and they offer you a promotion, you're not supposed to say no. So,
Right.
start that next week officially and get the show back on the road. It's ironic. I'm getting my old office back. So,
Really?
when I was cleaning the closet and from the other guys that replaced me over the last 7 years, I found a bunch of my old notes and a bunch of my old binders.
wow.
I'm like, look, that's my handwriting. That's my signature. I'm like, oh yeah. So taking back what's mine, taking my office back.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. And that being said, boys, we are going to be shooting for every Thursday show from now on. So starting next week, you're going to be seeing us every Thursday instead of every Wednesday. So Sam, with that promotion, now, I know you get, commission on the car sales. Is there, a better commission, so to speak, on the finance side of things? Basically, you're the guy I go in, I buy a car, I talk to you about gap, extended warranties.
Yep.
You try to upsell me on the tire protection and all the shit that I really don't need.
Yep.
Well, gap insurance is a product that you can't actually mark up in New York State, but it actually is a good product depending on if you have negative equity. Exactly. But yeah, in other states, you can mark it up. In New York State, it's actually a non-markup. So it's actually good in New York State and it's a cheaper price. In other states, you could charge over $1,000. But yeah, I sell the warranties, which do have good value to it. And it'd be smart for you to have. Yeah. The tire wheel ding protection, of course, I'm not saying that everything has its own value, but a warranty 100% has value to it. And then I also take care of interest rates and, take care of financing, contracts, canceling, all that stuff. But yeah, my base salary is more per week than in sales. And then I get a piece of the pot of what I sell on the back end. Right. So my job's about back end penetration.
And now we're moving on to a guy, Donnie. Do you know anything about the back end penetration?
No, I'd like to stay away from that side of it. So never dipped into that type of angle there. So we'll keep it the same. But, Sam's in charge. I like to say Sam's really in charge of the finance. Hey, no cars move unless Sam pushes that button down there and gets people to sign on the dotted line. So good for him getting that promotion at work. And we'll see if that works out, a promotion for the Knicks into the NBA Finals. I don't know if we're getting it, but hey, we can all hope.
Yep. And last but not least, Mr. Reload Sports. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, well, speaking of penetration, the WNBA has been off to an interesting start this season. I haven't given out any picks for the WNBA because just haven't been too excited about these.
Who's even watching the WNBA? That's what I'm
nobody for the next couple weeks.
No, the Caitlin Clark games are always interesting.
Well, yeah, of course.
But that's it. The rest of the league's been kind of ho-hum. Maybe as the season hits some better strides, I'll cover it more on here, but so far, I'm treading pretty light.
All right. Well, Sammy, let's jump into it. We got a couple series here at 3-1. Let's jump into some NBA talk for tonight. What do you like? I see you're sporting the Knicks cap, obviously.
Well, of course, you got to sport the Knicks. We're down 3-1. Every series in NHL and in NBA are all 3-1. So the question is, are any of the four teams that are down 3-1 have any chance to come back tonight or to come back over the next few days? Naively speaking, of course, I'm going to say the Knicks have a chance. Game 5 and Game 7 would be at home. Arguably, you could say the series should be 2-2. They should have won Game 1. They should have lost Game 3. Who knows in the middle of there? But Knicks definitely have a chance having the two home games. I don't really see any way that the Minnesota Timberwolves have any chance. Oklahoma City should win tonight, should cover tonight. They 8.5, should have no reason. And then even if, again, they lose, the Wolves would have to win at home, and then they have to win Game 7. That one I really don't see any way Minnesota comes back. In the hockey, you could say Carolina has a small fighter's chance. They do have a couple home games, but I think Florida overall, if they don't win tonight, would have a big advantage at home Game 6. And then I really think the Edmonton Oilers are the class. They were there in it could be a rematch of last year's NHL Finals with Florida and Edmonton. It should be a rematch. And that was an awesome, exciting series where Florida won in Game 7 after being up 3-0. Edmonton came back, to 3-3 to take it to Game 7. But overall, I mean, again, selfishly speaking, I'm going to say the Knicks genuinely have the best chance to come back of the 4 series. But seriously, if you break it down, we'll let Reload and we'll let Donnie say if they disagree. But if any of these teams are going to come back, I'm not saying the Knicks will come back, but the Knicks have the best chance. Of course, I'm rooting for them to come back, but I think it's going to be all the teams 3-1 most likely to win it.
All righty, Reload, over to you. 3-1 series in hockey and in basketball. I mean, all of these series, who do you see coming away with this?
Yeah, I have to agree with Sammy that the Knicks have the best chance, but I am sitting with my Indiana Pacers ticket for the series at plus 125.
Are you hedging that at all?
No, I'm not going to hedge. I'm just going to take it as being in the driver's seat, doing laps in around Indy there, like a race car, having a 3-1 lead. So I think that they pull it out. It's just a question of which game. I did take a look at the line for Thursday's game. Kind of probably not going to put any more on the Pacers. I think it's enough to the series, but I do think they're in pretty good shape there. I think Carolina in the NHL, I think Carolina might win tonight and extend their series, but I don't think they're going to win the series at all. Oilers Stars, you never know what could happen in that one. I seem to be on the wrong side of the tracks, really with the Western Conference in general, it seems. So, well, I think with Oklahoma and Minnesota in the NBA, shifting back to that, I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep in that one with Oklahoma advancing tonight. We'll see.
Donnie, before we jump over to you for your thoughts on this, and then Reload, I just wanted to cut you off here for a second. You brought up a good Indy 500 reference. We could talk about the Indy 500, but the more important race, did any of you guys catch the Wienermobile race?
Which Wiener won?
Let's jump into this.
Is not over.
Yeah, wow, multiple Wieners. All right.
For a late pass here off of the last corner. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This one is going to go down
Big
to
crowd.
Pole sitter. Day 2.
Look at the speed.
Bun advantage over the car behind.
The commentary on this is just hilarious real quick.
Sunday will be the 109th running of the Indy 500, but the first Wienie 500. And if you know one thing about Indy on the last lap, it's a dog-eat-dog world as they round the track for the final time.
Chidog still in the lead.
Oh, my goodness.
But looks like maybe a great run off of turn 2 here. I think we might be having a race to the
people
line.
looking like they got some moves.
Maddie closing with the slow dog. Could she top off the Wienie 500 with a late pass on the
The
Chidog?
girth is so long, it's hard to pass.
Less than a quarter mile to go at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the inaugural Wienie 500. These hot dogs are hot rodding it down the front straight, T-Bell. They're coming at us now. Maxed out at a whopping 60 miles an hour.
Wow, 60 miles per hour.
60 times it's like 10.
They're closing. Second place is closing with the run.
Can the fans cheer them across the line? It's going to be close.
Oh,
Making
close.
the
Look
move.
out.
Oh, he's making a move.
Making the
Look at
move
that.
up the inside
Wow.
on the runs
He's
of
got the gas.
bricks.
Step on it,
Over the
yeah.
line. It
Wow.
looks like it's
Here
going
we
to be
go.
the slow
C3.
dog by a nose.
Wow.
Slow dog win. In the
Man.
Oh, that was
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
That was very, very
Gold.
entertaining for
Yeah.
sure. You know, who would ever thought that there would be wiener dogs running at the Indy
Oh, my
500?
goodness. That's more impressive than the Indy 500 itself.
Donnie, over to you. Let's talk some game. You know, I got 3-1 series leads and these NHL and NBA playoffs, as we alluded to. What do you like here?
Yeah, I'm with everybody there at the New York Knicks, probably with the best chance here. I do think Oklahoma City closes out tonight. I do think the Knicks win game number 5, which sets up a game number 6, which before last game started, I thought it was going to go 6 or 7 games regardless. Plus money in game number 6, plus money in game number 7. So as long as the Knicks win, that's a plus money ticket in my pocket. Then I root for game number 7, which is a little bit more plus money than game number 6. I expect the Knicks to win. But tonight also, the 3-1 series lead, OKC, It has all the makings of a blowout. And I get why the public is taking it from 8.5 to 8 down at some outlets. It's a lot of points. You got to win by double digits. But I think that's one of the games where the bottom just might fall out on Minnesota on the road tonight. Hockey, it's been fantastic. And by the way, maybe it's not entertaining in the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, but if we get a rematch like we saw last year, that's two of the best hockey clubs there. An unbelievably complete team in Florida. And then you have that high-powered offense on the Edmonton Oilers. The only thing downfall is Zach Hyman got injured and is out for the rest of the playoffs. That's a devastating blow for the Oilers there. But if expectations are we're going to get Florida versus Edmonton in the Stanley Cup Finals, that's really good because I know the NBA is getting nervous now that it's going to end up Pacers in Oklahoma City, which we will watch, but how much of the country is actually going to watch that?
Correct. Sammy, let's jump over to you. Let's talk some tennis. Let's talk some French Open. How's the threat looking, and what do you got on deck?
Yeah, French Open's been a good couple days. It doesn't matter what I do at night as far as what time I go to sleep, how much I drink, how much I eat. Doesn't really matter. I'm up at like 5:30 every day, which right now is perfect because the French Open starts at 5:15 in the morning. So I'm pretty much awake right as the first matches are starting. I don't go to work until 8 o'clock. I had the day off today, my last Wednesday off after 13 years. But I've been watching a lot of the matches. Had a decent day today. I was 7-4. I'm 23-16, up about 5 units on the first 4 days. So everything's been going, pretty decent for a couple of days, and pretty chalky as far as no crazy upsets. Taylor Fritz lost, which was a big upset. He's American number 1, world number 4. Surindola lost as like a huge favorite. So there's been like some upsets, but as far as like the top 5 goes, other than Fritz, everyone is still alive. But week 1 is the separator, and then week 2 is when the main guys start to separate themselves down to the quarterfinals, semifinals. So next week will be when it starts to get a lot more fun with more marquee matchups with top 20 players facing off.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Reload, let's jump over to you. Did you catch into the PGA Championship this past weekend?
Well, the PGA, I thought we talked about that one last week, but
we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think we talked about that one last week. But hey, we got the rest of the golf year coming up, and a lot of good stuff. PGA, LPGA is kind of fun to follow too. If any of you
you handicap that at all, Reload?
What's that?
Do you handicap that at all?
Oh, sometimes, because the LPGA was interesting because a lot of their events sometimes were in like other oddball places like Hawaii or overseas and things like that. So you can find some value there when they're kind of in some of those more off-key events. And it's fun to watch. It's on like at night, some odd time. That's when I really get into that.
All righty, thank you. Donnie, let's jump over to you. Let's talk some baseball. I know we got some stuff on the way, but what do you got for tonight?
Yeah, some pretty good stuff here already on tablet here. You take a look at one of those games, 6-6 now with Miami and San Diego. A couple left-handed batters I like today, Jake Cronenworth and Gavin Sheets, both have RBI in that game. An interesting one, Paul Skeens, 8-0 lead right now over Arizona, and something I thought probably would be a lower scoring game. Well, lower scoring from Arizona. They haven't scored, but Pittsburgh, who might score 8 runs in an entire week sometimes, they got 8 runs today, so that's pretty impressive. It's tough right now because we are in late May. The weather in the Northeast and some of those northern states is still really bad. Like Philadelphia today, freezing cold, rainy conditions, rained out for the Atlanta game. They'll have a doubleheader tomorrow. But late night tonight, Washington is taking on Seattle. Seattle's been really good at the plate, playing good baseball this year. Cal Raleigh to get an RBI makes a lot of sense. And also, I don't think Baltimore game has been canceled just yet. It's a 6:35 start tonight. Actually, like St. Louis, Miles Michaelis has been very good over the past month, and Baltimore is just a mess. This line was like a +110, +105 earlier today. It's down to a +100. Still like that price on a short dog on St. Louis tonight, but a short card. We're just look. Come on, man. 75 degrees and plus. Let's get it started. Let's get some baseball weather.
Exactly. Reload.
Man.
Let's jump over to you. Let's talk some baseball.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's still been rainy a lot of places around, cold, rainy weather, and that's how a lot of these seasons start out. At least we're into May now. I think as June hits, we start to see some better weather and rest of the way. But as far as tonight's action, I'm going with the St. Louis Cardinals in a finale at Baltimore, the Baltimore Orioles tonight. They split the first 2 games. St. Louis came from behind last night to win, and I think that carries over into tonight. My Mykolas is on the mound for St. Louis. He's notched wins in his last 3 road starts. Low whips. He's been pitching pretty well, well enough to get it done here. And Povich is on the mound for Baltimore. He hasn't recorded a home win yet. He gave up 6 home runs over his last 3 home starts. Hard to see why the Cardinals are underdogs at plus 102, even money. I thought it'd at least be a pick 'em or maybe favored. So I see some good value there with St. Louis. I'm going to take them tonight.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, over to you. Let's talk some baseball.
I'm on a reload as well with the Cardinals over Baltimore. And what if I told you that the New York Yankees on Wednesdays are 7-2?
Wow.
I'd say that's a very irrelevant stat, but go on.
What do you mean irrelevant? We happen to do the shows on Wednesdays, and we happen to pick them every week, and they're 7-2. I'm just saying, if you're taking them on Wednesdays, you're making money. You should be
next
taking
week.
them
You're gonna have to take them on Thursday.
Yeah, well, we'll see if that trend follows, But right now, we're going to be taking them on Wednesday over the Angels at a small price as well.
All righty. Awesome, Sammy. Thank you. And guys, last but not least, we got poker on deck this coming Friday, guys. Make sure you join. Only a few more opportunities to get your hands on a Tournament of Champions ticket to win some baller coins. And last but not least, I'm getting out of here. Going to pack, headed on a little vacation, headed to Universal Studios tomorrow.
Wow.
Never been out there. So,
were you in Orlando or out in LA? Which one?
Out in LA.
LA. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, LA. Okay.
Yep. Only about 4.5 hour drive. So
driving there,
yeah, driving out there. Been to Disneyland many times, but never Universal. So I think it'll be fun.
Nice.
But,
I think it's even better than Disney, really. At least in Orlando it was.
Oh. Yeah. You know what? I've heard that.
Yep.
We expect some pictures and videos.
Exactly. But you guys have a great rest of the week.
Yeah.
Good luck on all your action, and we will catch you guys on the forum.
Bing bong. Let's go.
See ya.
All right.